to Cheyenne. There'll be another bronc to ride, and I just might have a chance if I keep one hand in the rigging and one hand on the wheel. No matter how far down the road I go, there's always one more rodeo. She'd like for me to settle down, but long as I'm still living, I'll keep one hand on the wheel and one hand in the rigging.
And we're back. This is Gofers Get a Grip, and today I'm your host, Kathleen Bowen with Industrious Family Films. Today I'm joined by Mary Bowen, Faustina Bowen, and our special guest, Kaleb McConner, and we're going to tell you all about The Last Rodeo, Angel Studios' newest film.
I also knew that it was a Christian film.
Basically just that Neil McDough was in it.
Faith-based Christian film that relied heavily on morals and respect.
So The Last Rodeo is not a true story, though we all wish it was. We want to know that people like Joe Wainwright exist and that miracles do happen.
It's a story that's just kind of a heartwarming story.
I hope it's a true story. I think that'd be really cool.
Very true to life, but it was all fictional characters.
I don't know who wrote it. Who wrote it?
Neil McDough and his wife, Ruve, wrote the script.
A contemporary film with people and problems we all know too well, but set within a sport that the West loves. What's not to love?
I'd say it's a Western drama.
It's probably a family drama. When I think of Westerns, I think more of like old, like John Wayne type movies.
It's not like, John Wayne cowboys and shootouts, but it does have that old Texas style of being all about the cowboys.
I would say it's mostly a drama, family drama.
It's about this young woman, and she is a single mom, and she has like a 12-year-old son, and she's living with her dad.
He's a widower, and he's kind of distant, if not very close to his daughter. Past events in his life have caused them to be not super attached, and as the story unfolds, they kind of realize how much they actually are to each other.
He has kind of been faced with this moral duty to pay for the surgery, the costs and expenses of the surgery for his grandson. So he gets back on the bowl. He only has like 3 days to prepare, and he ends up going to the PBR, I believe it was called, to win and get prize money.
If you took all the mashings, the dragons and the crashings, you'd probably look the same way that I do. It's the million miles of road getting snatched around and thrown that finally put the cramp in my style. It ain't age that makes me look this way. It ain't the years, boy, it's the miles.
Did you know the St. Therese Little Flower's favorite novel is being made into a movie?
That's right, and it couldn't be more timely. In a post-Christian society, we need to be intimately united to a community of believers so that we can fight the good fight and win the race.
Are you tired of not belonging and want to find a better way to connect with other Christians? We need the sacraments, but we also need the beauty that artists and storytellers provide.
Cinema has the power to connect us. That's why Industrious Family is telling stories that celebrate virtue through film.
Fabiola is a story of the catacombs, conversion, Christian triumph.
It takes place in a time much like our own. Christians fight to hold on to their faith even in the most decadent of pagan cultures. A society which is but a shadow of what modern Christophobes would thrust upon us if they had their way.
If we are to keep the faith in the face of this evil, we must learn from the martyrs of the past by sharing their stories. When you invest in Fabiola, you are ensuring that the stories of St. Agnes and St. Sebastian are told.
Their authentic portrayal brings a new layer of relatability to the well-known saints.
When Mel Gibson's movie The Passion of the Christ was released, it was vehemently attacked, showing that Catholic movies do pose a threat to the new Christophobic world order.
Fabiola covers themes of conversion, sacrifice, and martyrdom. In the film, Fabiola inadvertently surrounds herself with Christians of all classes who uphold their faith in the face of torture and death.
This challenges her to choose between her pampered existence and the austere life of the Christians she admires.
Like the gospel message, the story of our heroes transcend time. As we find ourselves in a similar circumstance, now more than ever is the time to tell the story of the church in the catacombs.
And Hollywood is not going to make this movie. No. The only way this film is going to be made is if you partner with us to make it a reality. Click the link below to learn how you can help us tell the story of Fabiola today.
When the tough gets going, the best sort of men get tough. In this family drama, audiences leave with a better understanding of faith, friendship, and family.
The main theme, though, is forgive and forget. Even if that's not someone in your life, it's even could be yourself.
Another thing I think the film was trying to tell, which is very sadly, that we do live in a country where it's kind of sad to think that some of us can't pay medical bills.
You know, your family is your family, and you should go above and beyond for your family and do things what it takes to make them happy.
There can be people that influence you. You can have bad companions, but really, in the end, you need to kind of take the reins for yourself, and your mistakes are yours, and you can always live past them, live beyond them, and make your own decisions on how you want to live your life for now and in the future. Faith,
right? It's just the constant prayer and the constant faith in that something's going to happen, a miracle's going to happen. Because, he has a tumor, and that's not something that is easily to get rid of. And it ended up turning out, outright in the film. So I think the film mostly focuses on families and how strong bonded a family can be. It relies heavily on faith, and it relies predominantly on when you have a goal in mind to accomplish it, not only for yourself, but for anyone else that may pertain to it.
A single mother, a rodeo star, and a child with a brain tumor. Coming up soon, we're going to find out how all these fit together into one film.
Since Trad Seats was released last month, it's already received over 1,000 views. This is Industrious Family's first official music video that is a parody to Alabama song Cheap Seats.
We like our precinct high six, we like the bells and smells of old rats. Got a polio, what a name, oh we cannot forget it.
This song celebrates not only the beginning of the pontificate of America's first pope, but also offers a glimpse into the lives of traditional Catholics in America. Along with the song itself, we've also gathered a whole slew of stories from trads and how they came to tradition, available on industriousfamily.com. Because traditional Catholicism isn't just something we do for an hour on Sunday, it's a way of life.
That good, but all in all our God is good. We want the Mass, we want the faith, we wouldn't have it any other way.
Read the stories, listen to the full song, and watch the music video parody at Trad Seats under new releases on industriousfamily.com.
Trad Seats!
After this short break, we'll be right back, talking more about what audiences love about this film, more about the characters, and even getting some ratings from our expert panel of reviewers. Don't go anywhere, you're not going to want to miss it.
Are you struggling to find good movies? Not just one or two, but many good films that entertain and call cut on contradicting your family's morals? Are you tired of immodesty, woke agendas, inaccurate depictions of historic heroes? And do they really need to use bad language in every line? Some try filters, some don't do anything. Some throw their TVs away. We're sick of trash on the screen, influencing us, our children, and our culture. For the past decades, we've been building relationships with wholesome film studios to call, that's a wrap on your dilemma. A new opportunity is waiting for your family at Industrious Family Theater. You might be wondering why we made Industrious Family Theater. To be completely honest, we want to give you an easy and affordable way to find good movies without scrolling endlessly in fear of being overexposed to garbage. Overexposure, never good. If you're looking for wholesome entertainment with nothing objectionable, with no ads, and no need to search YouTube, learn more at Industrious Family Theater.
Welcome back. I'm Kathleen Bowen with Industrious Family Films, and I'm here today talking about The Last Rodeo. Audiences loved this film. It's another hit for Angel Studios. And right now we're going to see what our panel of experts have to say about the characters.
So Neil McDowell played the main character, Joe Wainwright.
I haven't really seen him take on a father figure role in quite some time, and I think that he does a really good job. The tone of it is really good.
A very proud character. part of the reason that he wants to do the rodeo as a way of making the money to pay off those hospital bills is because he doesn't want help from anyone.
Definitely has this kind grandfatherly. He's actually a young grandpa. I think he's probably in his 50s. So he still is very much so a dad, though.
Kind of back to the basis of what I was talking about with Joe is that he's a family guy. You know, he's a family man. He takes responsibility, and he wants to be that strong pillar for his family.
He feels deep down that he failed his wife, that he should have been there for her. He should have been able to provide for her.
Once his wife died, he kind of went into his like a selfish mode and just kind of didn't really care for others around him. He kind of distanced himself from his friends and from his daughter.
What Joe really has to learn is it takes more than one person to be able to fix a problem.
A lot of thought went into his character because you don't understand these details until kind of in the middle of the story, and then it kind of comes out and makes a lot more sense.
I think that this is an important character because I think there is a lot of relationships like this going on in our world today where there's a lot of parents that make mistakes and it does hurt their children. And I felt like this was a very good character to be showing that, you know, it's not just you.
Yeah, he was very well developed, very likable, even though you could tell there's kind of something off.
I felt like Neil McDowell did a really good job of portraying that character and showing that they're human too.
Towards the end, you definitely are excited when he does ride that bull for 8 seconds.
You know, every story has a hero and then the guide, and I feel like Charlie was really the guide in the story.
He is an old friend of Joe's, and this is one of the people that Joe pushed out of his life.
Joe was portrayed as having had, you know, a belief in God, but that he kind of lost it all. Just kind of was angry at God, and there can't be a God because why would he do this to me, sort of a thing. And it's really Charlie that's kind of guiding him back to, well, maybe God's trying to teach you something.
When he needs him, he calls him up.
To obviously help him get back on the bull and to, you know, practice and be there for him when he was competing.
I felt like the actor did do a very good job as Charlie. Charlie's kind of a funny character, but also he's using his humor in a way to guide Joe.
He was kind of the comic relief, so occasionally he's what made the audience laugh, so definitely needed that, and he definitely did a good job in that part.
I think him being a strong friend, someone that Joe needed in the time of need.
I definitely feel like the hurt in more of a genuine sad sense came out of him, whereas the daughter was a little more hurt in an angry sense.
When I've been around African Americans, they just feel very joyful people, and I really felt this in McKelty Williamson's portrayal of the black cowboy.
I did like seeing him as a little more of a variety and having a black role in that film.
Black people really are a part of our culture, and I really enjoy being able to see this character being treated, you know, as an equal with the other cowboys in the story. So Sarah Jones plays the role of Sally, who is the young mom in this film.
So she is a single mom and is definitely still being taken care of by her dad and is trying to be a good example to the son. She does not really want him following in her dad's footsteps, though, as far as rodeo goes.
In the beginning of the film, it was actually kind of funny because she was getting on my nerves a little bit. always picking the kid up and babying him.
She is the bitter daughter.
Kind of is resisting what her son admires in her dad and kind of wants to avoid even actually noticing that those things are admirable in her dad as well.
I was never able to be home. I had to take care of you. I wasn't able to finish school. There was all of these things that you made my life miserable, sort of a persona about her.
There was this one pinnacle scene that kind of shifted my preference on Sally's character. He was throwing up and she wanted to take him to the doctors, and Joe was like, no, you don't need to do that, you know, just a little concussion, whatever. And it turned into this brain tumor. I kind of relate that with mother's intuition. Sometimes the things are just off, and mothers can sense that. So, you know, she was making me a little upset in the beginning, but her character quite shifted after that moment.
There's just that really heartfelt moment where she is talking about her mom, and I loved that, and she was just saying that there was no excuses, you couldn't do anything sloppily. And there was no excuses. You really couldn't ever say, oh, well, I wasn't able to, but... And it's funny because Sally the whole time is using all of these excuses for why things are going the way they are. And, even though the mom is not really a character in the movie, it really shows how much she influenced Sal.
She did a fantastic job of being a mom who goes through a lot, and you can tell she's already been through a lot, and then all of a sudden has to go through a whole nother roller coaster ride of tragedy when her son is diagnosed. Which this part of the story is very cute, because even though you might not notice it at first, but the person who she talks through all this through and the person she's on the phone with the most is her dad.
She did a really good job of just showing that maternal affection. Also, though, that daughterly feeling towards her father, where she really, he's not a good dad, and she knows that. And she just really, she was there for him when he needed her, and she realizes that he's there for her when she needs him.
I think she did a great job as well emotionally. I think she did a really good job with changing her tones, especially when she needed to, and also putting her foot down in other regards, standing up for what she believed in to be right. So I think she did a great job as well.
Yeah, she had the blank stare when they told her, and she just continued to have this blank stare, and then was trying to be kind of tough to her son, but then would go in the hall and be on the phone and would start crying. So yeah, she did a phenomenal job acting.
With some strong emotional scenes, you may want a box of tissue nearby.
I liked it. I did not cry.
No, I did not cry.
Definitely was a little bit of emotional when Sally was, crying in some scenes, not knowing if her kid was going to live or not.
I think I kind of predicted how it was going to go down, so I think I was kind of prepared for it to go down that way.
Seeing Joe cry in the diner scene when he was out, or maybe it was a bar scene with Charlie, he was crying there. That was a pretty powerful scene as well. So yeah, I definitely thought that the film touched a little nerve for me. Yeah. It's a pretty sensitive topic. I personally have not had any family in my life, close family in my life, thank God, to have cancer or brain tumor or anything of that caliber. But I do know from many other movies that I've watched, being a mother, I can't imagine.
Don't forget, at Industrious Family Films, we not only review movies that others make, we also make our own films. Coming up next is a sneak peek of one of the interviews from a cast member in our current project, Fabiola.
Are you as excited as we are to meet the cast of Fabiola? Just messing with you. Unless you are part of the project, you aren't going to get the opportunity. Unless you keep updated on our YouTube channel. Right now, actor Kaleb McConner is hard at work reaching out to and interviewing each member of the Fabiola cast. That means you have an opportunity to meet each member of the Fabiola cast before you even see them in the film. Do I call that getting behind the curtain look or what? Already, you can watch the interviews from Megan Geyer and Megan Mulaney, but only on this show are you going to get the sneak peek of the upcoming interview with the evil villain Eurydice.
So I'll be playing Eurydice, a close character to Fulvius.
Sure is.
He's kind of a quiet, darker character. He's not trying to be in the spotlight, kind of helping guide Fulvius behind the scenes in ways that he probably shouldn't be guided.
So stay tuned. Subscribe to the Industrious Family on YouTube and make sure the notifications are on, because you are not going to want to miss this full interview.
This film really hit home with a realistic plot, humor, and bull riding action. If you're a bull riding fan, you're not going to be disappointed.
The film did a very good job of keeping you engaged. It was kind of slow. It took a while to get to the bull riding, but from watching the trailers, you had that promise that there was going to be bull riding, so you did end up, you were kind of hooked and watching it the whole time.
The bull riding parts were done really well. You're very close, and
I think it did a really good job pushing that, again, the family narrative, the faith narrative. The tone was pretty good.
And the character of Charlie was also kind of important for that slow beginning, because his character always has that moment of keeping the story going by being funny, by saying the things that need to be said. There's even a moment when he says, I know that this is going to sound really harsh, but you need to put all of this out of your minds, because otherwise you don't have any business getting on a bull.
I like sports movies when you don't have to know how the game's played in order to enjoy the movie.
The human interaction was very good.
Each one had an obligation or an objective, and they all accomplished it.
The recordings and the footage of the actual writing was really good too.
They didn't go cheap on costumes. They didn't go cheap on the sets. And you could really tell.
Been to Texas once, but I feel like when I was watching the footage, I was like, oh, you can tell this is really, really where it is. And I've been to Oklahoma once too, and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely what the area. So they caught that really well.
I don't think any of it was computer animated either, which I like that about old films. My sister and I were recently watching The Magnificent Seven, and something that really stood out to me is, all of these guys are doing this.
The final touch was the swing dancing in the bar. I was kind of like, oh, that would not have been quite complete without that.
Some of the things that I think they could have done better was some of the cinematography.
I don't know if they really fell short. There were definitely a few times I noticed, like, oh, this is kind of an indie film. Some inconsistencies with, like, in the wide shot standing here doing this, and the close shot not quite yet doing that. But some things like that were just a little bit distracting.
Some of the shots, in my opinion, didn't really match some of the tone in the time of the movie. So, for instance, I believe they were in the hospital, and there was this really big wide shot for like no reason. I didn't really like that too much.
Yeah, the only thing that really bothered me was the grave in the yard, and knowing Catholics put this together. Why did they not do that, right? But it was kind of a plot point where he felt like he couldn't leave the farm. And
I also didn't really like the car scenes. You could really tell that it was green screen. I wish that they would have maybe done it practically, like in a car with a car mount on the hood of it, or just had just a little bit better green screen editing.
I did want to mention that, if you've been around real cowboys, it's not nearly as bad as that, but they did give a few nods in the way that the characters spoke, giving a nod to cowboy culture.
If they had none of it, it would have been not quite right, but if...
Other than that, though, I really liked the film all around. Just a couple small things, but I think it did a really good job in the theater, and it's, again, something based on faith and family, so you can't really go too wrong with that.
Industrious Family Films really does it all. We review films, we make films, we even teach you how to make films. Check out our movie production guide now.
Have you always dreamed of making your own films? Industrious Family would not be where we are today if it hadn't been for mentors who gave their time to teaching us all that we know. And now, we want to give back. That is why we now have the Movie Production Guide available on our website. The Movie Production Guide is your comprehensive map on how to make a movie from concept to completion. With the entire process cut into bite-sized pieces, videos, and checklists to keep you on track, this is the ultimate beginner's movie guide. Plus, if you ever feel stuck, you can always use the form on the bottom of the lesson to send a message, and a member of the Industrious Family team will get back to you with personalized help and feedback. And getting started is so easy. All you have to do is select Movie Production Guide under Courses on industriousfamily.com. Purchase the course, and the first lesson, as well as the table of contents, will be sent straight to your inbox, and you are off to the races. So what are you waiting for? Get the Movie Production Guide now, and let's start making films.
Loving all these insights about The Last Rodeo? Well, I've got good news. Our website has a whole section on movie reviews. Right now what's popular is books made to film. You can check that out at industriousfamily.com.
If you're a Catholic business, listen up. Do you feel like you are constantly looking to broaden your reach? Like you know that there are people out there who would love to see your products but just don't know how to reach them? Well, we have good news for you. Industrious Family has sponsorship opportunities that allow you to get in front of our warm Catholic audience. These are the people who are searching for Catholic companies who build up and restore culture. Industrious Family has spent over 10 years building a relationship with our audience, and they know and trust us. We want to spread the love and share you with our fans and our fans with you. So, if you are looking for a way to connect with Catholic fans and shoppers, an Industrious Family sponsorship is just the thing for you. With our sponsorship, you can get your ad in front of our YouTube audience, a weekly post on our social media, an ad on our newsletter, and a site-wide ad. Contact us now on industriousfamily.com and see how we can help you reach your Catholic audience today.
We're back, talking about The Last Rodeo. Thanks for being with us. Well, you know, it wasn't a 5-star film, but it did get 3 thumbs up from our panel of experts, and at the very least, it's sure not to disappoint.
I give it a thumbs up and a 4-star probably.
A thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs up, and out of 10, I would say like a 7.5.
Probably give it a 4, maybe a 5. I'd give it a 5 for it being wholesome and family friendly.
The only reason I'd say 4 is because it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, but I don't feel like I need to watch it again right away. So I would say 4 stars because it's not, I didn't feel like it was an instant classic.
I just still feel like Christians and independent films, we're still missing something that Hollywood used to have that used to really draw us in. There's still something about independent films that you watch and you just feel like you were there on the movie set. But totally a 5 because Hollywood films you can't watch them. So definitely a 5 in that area.
Scratch! That's the line that we can't stop saying. But let's check with our panel of experts to see what line they thought was the most memorable.
There was also a good line when they were doing playing pool. I can't remember what the line was.
Oh, yeah, of course. Joe, when he was in the hospital with Sally, I don't know the line verbatim, but I believe it goes something like this, where he looks over at her and he's like, we will because we have to, or something like that. When she's talking about selling the horses and the buckles and the farm and the trucks, he goes, no, we don't have to do all that. You know, we're going to figure it out because we have to.
With undertones of Christian faith in America and cowboy culture, this story of a father who has to confront his painful past in order to reconcile with his daughter makes the point without being preachy.
It's easy to feel like there's some people in your life that, well, it's okay, I'll power through, get through this project with them, or get through, year with them, or whatever it is, in different like working situations, or if you're working on a project together, just feeling like we'll just get through it and then I won't have to talk to them ever again. And family is not like that, though. You are always going to have to deal with the things that your family members have done, and they're always going to be around, and it's better to forgive and move on.
Yeah, just kind of like I said about forgiving yourself and forgiving others, and then also just kind of that there's probably something slightly wrong in our medical system if there isn't enough charity to cover medical bills that are actually for a surgery that's life-threatening.
I actually found out some really cool what it means to be a man sometimes, and taking on that responsibility. You can see a lot of it during the show, or the movie, of Joe stepping up to the plate when he needs to. Not only is he putting his body on the line, his injured body on the line to pay for surgeries, but he's also taking that manly role and responsibility, and although it's not his necessary responsibility to pay for the surgery, he is. But then there's also like small things, like when they're at the hospital, he's like, well, I'm gonna go get your clothes so that you can stay the night. He's taking initiative, gonna go get her clothes so that the mother can be by her son's side in the hospital while he goes and travels and does the rodeo stuff. So just being there, what it's like to be a man and taking responsibility, and then obviously providing for your family.
Even like there's a part where Charlie, it tells him, I tried to talk to you for so many years. Really a big important point is when you're going through something hard, you're not the only one that's suffering it. You're never the only one suffering it. And to share the good times as well as the bad. Someone is trying to like reach out to you and commiserate with you. You don't ignore them and just act like, this is my problem. It's important for your spiritual life, for your psyche, to just let people help you. And that was just kind of a really important part of the story, and something that really resonated with me.
The Last Rodeo is just the latest from Angel Studios, and it's not the only one that audiences love. After watching The Last Rodeo, we welcome you to visit our website and check out the reviews that we've done of other Angel movies at industriousfamily.com.
I would definitely watch it again, and I kind of want to watch it again pretty soon, because I like to watch movies once for the first time and then watch them again. But I definitely think it was something we'll watch maybe once a year around border days. I can kind of see that.
I think what the film, taught me was just reach out to a family, reach out to a friend, say I love you more.
Rodeo kind of seems like filmmaking, where a lot of people feel like it's frivolous, that it's not really something that's important to our culture. But I feel like film and cowboys and rodeo are a part of our culture.
I don't know any other country that crazy people decide to jump on a bull and go yeehaw and throw their back out over and over again. So when it comes to American culture, I think just bull riding in general, I learned a lot about.
As Americans, we should be proud of our heritage, and part of that heritage is, riding the wild horses, and also, even filmmaking. Those things are very important parts of our culture, and I think those are the things that we need to hold on to unless we want to lose our entire culture.
Heck yeah, we recommend others watching this film, so you can watch it on the Angel app. And if you enjoyed this video today, make sure that you subscribe and allow notifications so you don't miss a thing from Gofers Get a Grip or the other quality content Industrious Family Films has to offer.